Thessaly, 1470. A bell rings one final time across a valley that will never hear it again. Inside the convent of St. Catherine, 23 women are on their knees. They aren't praying for victory. They are praying for the strength to disappear. Outside, the horizon is unglowing with the sun, is bleeding red from the banners of an empire that has already swallowed Constantinople. Sister Eleni, the abbess, clutches a silver crucifix. She knows that what is coming isn't just death. Death would have been a mercy. For 500 years, this story was erased from every history book. It was a secret buried beneath the stone floors of a palace, waiting for someone to find the scratches in the dark. If you believe that the voices the world tried to silence deserve to be heard, you're in the right place. On Echoes of Time, we dig into the archives the world forgot. Every like and subscription helps us pull one more voice out of the darkness. Hit subscribe now, not for us, but for them. To understand the fate of these 23 women, you have to understand the mind of Sultan Mehmed II. He knew a secret most conquerors ignore. You don't defeat a people by killing them. Killing creates martyrs, and martyrs inspire songs. No, you defeat a people by erasing who they are. The Ottomans perfected a strategy called Erasia. They didn't want to create saints. They wanted to create ghosts. Every church bell that still rang was an act of defiance. Every nun praying in Latin was a reminder that the old world refused to die. So the order was given. They will not be martyred. They will be made to vanish. The first cannonball strikes the bell tower at dawn, shattering the iron bell that had rung for 140 years. As the Ottoman soldiers pour into the courtyard, they don't come with swords drawn. They come with quills and ledgers. To the empire, these women were not people. They were assets to be catalogued. They were numbers on a balance sheet, resources to be reallocated. This wasn't about faith versus faith. It was about order versus defiance. The empire saw a loose thread in its grand tapestry, and it intended to snip it. Meet Sister Magdalena. She is only 19, a farm girl who sought safety in the convent after her family was killed in a raid. Her hands are calloused from tending the convent's garden, her face still holding the youth that war was trying to steal. Beside her is Sister Eleni, the abbess, her face a roadmap of 50 winters. She has seen empires rise and fall, and she refuses to break even when threatened with the consequences of rebellion. She stands before the Ottoman commander, a man half her age, and her gaze doesn't waver. The commander, impatient and annoyed by this quiet resistance, orders them locked in their own chapel. They are left in the suffocating dark, with no food, no water, to see who breaks first. But the Ottomans underestimated one thing. These women had spent their lives preparing for silence and suffering. Their days were a routine of prayer, fasting, and contemplation. For them, this was just another trial, a test of faith. The darkness of the chapel was no different from the darkness of the soul they had learned to navigate through prayer. They didn't scream or beg, they prayed. Their whispered psalms filled the stone chamber, a sound more powerful than any shout of defiance. The soldiers outside grew unnerved. This wasn't the behavior of the conquered. This was something else entirely. On the fourth day, the march begins. 23 women, hands bound, walking south toward the coast. The Greek sun, usually a source of life, shows no mercy. The dust from the road cakes their faces and fills their lungs. Sister Irene, aged 62, the convent's librarian with fingers perpetually stained with ink, collapses on the second day. Her sisters try to carry her, their own strength failing, but by morning she is gone. They bury her with their bare hands in the unforgiving dust, marking the spot with a small pile of stones. By the time they reach the port of Volos, only 18 remain. But they have stopped weeping. They walk in a silence that is not defeat, it is a choice. It's a wall they've built around themselves, a sanctuary no soldier can breach. At the port, the humiliation continues. Sister Eleni is singled out. The soldiers forcibly remove her simple habit and dress her in fine silk, parading her through the camp as a supposed convert to their faith. The goal is to break the spirit of the remaining sisters, to show them that even their leader had capitulated. A witness, a Greek merchant later captured for ransom, recounted what he saw. He heard her lips moving. She was still praying in Latin. Her eyes were fixed on a horizon no one else could see. They took her body, but her soul was elsewhere. The human spirit's resistance is a powerful, recurring theme in our most suppressed histories. If this interests you, check out our Legendary Stories from History playlist to see how other voices fought back from the shadows. From Volos, the 18 survivors are loaded onto a ship bound for the heart of the empire, Constantinople. Here, the historical record goes cold. They were swallowed by the city, their names disappearing from all official documents. For centuries, this was a ghost story, a whispered legend among the Orthodox communities of what happened to the nuns of St. Catherine. The official narrative was simple. The convent was abandoned. The nuns scattered. History, as it often is, was tidied up by the victors. But truth has a way of refusing to stay buried. In 2011, during restoration work on a lesser-used wing of the Topkapi Palace, archaeologists broke through a false wall in a basement storeroom. They were expecting to find structural supports, perhaps old plumbing. What they found was a hidden chapel, no larger than a small room. It had been sealed off for centuries. And on the walls, they found the story. Scratched into the stone with fingernails and shards of pottery were dozens of crosses, crude but defiant. And there, in a corner, they found the mark of Magdalena, a small bird, a symbol of the soul, and 23 lines etched beside it, one for each sister who began the journey. Beneath the bird were 4 words in Latin, Lux in tenebris lucet. The light shines in the darkness. This wasn't a cry for help. It was a declaration. It was proof that even in the deepest dungeons of an all-powerful empire, a 19-year-old farm girl could find a way to make her voice heard across 500 years. The scratches were a testament that they never broke. They never converted. They kept their faith in the dark until the very end. The Ottoman Empire lasted 600 years. Its sultans are dust. Its armies are memory. But those scratches on the wall survived. The women won. Not by reclaiming their convent, not by surviving their ordeal, but by leaving a mark that an entire empire could not erase. Memory is written by the survivors. And sometimes, survival looks like a cross carved in the dark where no one was ever supposed to see it. It's a quiet victory, the kind that doesn't make it into the epic poems, but is perhaps the most human victory of all. Which part of this story moves you most? The defiant march through the desert, or the secret prayers scratched under the palace? Let us know in the comments below. Your engagement helps these stories reach more people. Subscribe to keep the past alive, because the light still shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Lux in tenebris lucet. Thanks for watching.